Hello traders, today is August 27th, 2024. I'm gonna go over only 10 names today and I'm gonna focus a little bit on what I'm seeing on the market rather than setups. And the reason for that is because I'm seeing a little bit of weakness and there are some names that I would like to address within that theme. Anyways, let's get starting with this. This is not financial advice. Make your own decisions when it comes down to investing in your capital. I strongly suggest you do your own due diligence and research before risking your money into any investment. That being said, let's start with the video. So let's go with Apple first. And what we're seeing here is, let me do this really quick. Out of the names that I'm going to mention today, Apple looks the most solid. It is going on the support level at 225. I think if we break this area right here, meaning start going towards 227 and so forth, we might see a little bit of momentum. However, I'm starting to see weakness on the market. I mentioned that yesterday. We'll see what happens after. I think there's definitely a strong influence coming from NVIDIA's earnings tomorrow, and we'll see what happens if things go in a positive way. And if that is the case, we might actually continue going or moving higher. And the weakness that we have been seeing in the past 3 trading days might fade away. Anyways, let's move on to AMD, and here's where I'm gonna start showing you some of the setups that at this point look a little bit interesting. So yesterday I was saying we have to see if we're going to bounce or retest this level at 151 and continue going towards 161. Well, you know, now we're actually right at 150.5. So we're under this support support level, which is turning into resistance now. We're also under the 200 SMA. And we are right on the 35 SMA. I think that we might continue seeing a little bit of weakness within at least tomorrow, and we'll see what happens after earnings. But this is what I'm starting to see. We're breaking some support levels on a lot of stock names, and you don't only see it on this sector in the microchip sector, but you're seeing it on other sectors as well. Anyways, the MACD and the TSI look kind of neutral to me, in my opinion. Again, I think it's a matter of waiting. Maybe we bounce out of that 35 SMA towards 160 or towards breaking this resistance level and towards 161. We'll see, who knows. But for now, I will be very cautious. I'm not saying that things are gonna collapse or that they are collapsing. What I'm saying is, and there is a little bit of a pullback going on, and as a trader you have to be cautious, especially if there is not enough volatility and volume in general is low. I think it's just smart just to make sure that to be patient and wait on your positions and see what is best. Personally, I wouldn't go short right now. It feels like it's too soon. I wouldn't go short on most of the names that I'm gonna mention today, but they are not looking great. Let's take a look at Amazon, and we can assess what's going on here. So yesterday also what I said was we are basically within this range between the 35 SMA and the 200 SMA. The 200 SMA. I also said that I wasn't going to be surprised if we fill the gap, which we did. Let's get rid of this. We are actually in a low liquidity area. I think if you break the 200 SMA, you're going down to 167. I said all this yesterday. I mainly said that we were probably going to fill the gap. We did today. Today, Amazon definitely didn't have a good day, but this is part of what I'm saying of names hitting some resistance and getting a little bit of a correction, which I personally kind of welcome. I always feel uncomfortable with these kind of moves, that especially for companies like Amazon that has such a huge market cap. I always feel like, you know, there's going to be an opposite reaction. It's not going to be the same in my opinion, but I think that I wouldn't be surprised if I see the price going down to 167, and then there might be opportunity to go back up. But it seems again like there is definitely a downward, I guess, some momentum. We'll see what happens here on the 200 SMA. We'll see what we see tomorrow. MACD and TSI, to be honest, are not looking the best. The RSI is already going down. So yeah, that's what I have for Amazon. I think it's crucial to break here, and again, is also showing weakness in general terms for the market. Let's move on to another example of what I'm trying to say. You know, before we go to Microsoft, you had Costco, Walmart, and so many other companies today. I think American Express and some others that actually did or hit all-time highs today. So it's not all doom and gloom. I think that the Dow is doing pretty well. I think that Visa is also breaking a channel right now, so keep an eye on Visa. So what I see is tech in general, and the semiconductors sectors that are being hit right now, and Nasdaq in general, but the Dow is not doing too bad. Anyways, let's go to Microsoft. If I can find I did Microsoft before Meta, that's fine. Okay, let's do Microsoft. So right here, very similar to what I've seen in what we're seeing in Amazon and whatnot, you're right on the 200 SMA. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. Now you're under it did retest at 35 SMA and now it's going down. It's also under this support level that is now resistance. So yeah, I think that again, weakness is what is happening right now. We'll see what happens again by the end of the week. I think we're going to have more clarity by the end of the week, but I'm not very optimistic on what I'm saying, at least for now. Again, maybe in a very short term, we'll see what happens. But another critical level for now is the 200 SMA. Let's move on to Meta, and Meta had another, didn't have the best day. Now you're under resistance or under support. This is resistance now on a doji candle, so there is a little bit of uncertainty here. MACD and TSI are not looking best, so I wouldn't be surprised, and you're going to continue going down towards what I said yesterday. Did I mention Meta yesterday? I think I did. I think what I said yesterday is that you might want to be prepared for Meta to go down to 500. And yeah, I did mention Meta yesterday. So I think my thesis on this is like, if weakness continues and NVIDIA doesn't do too well on earnings, I think that this weakness is going to continue. Maybe you go down to 485, which would be fantastic because then you have an opportunity to get back in. But at least 500 is my price target for now. But again, tomorrow is going to be a decisive day. That's what I have for Meta. I'm going to start moving a little bit faster because I'm finding that I'm repeating myself on the weakness side of things. Let's do Tesla. So Tesla is also looking weak, but if we go to the week, no, it looks like it's consolidating too on the weekly chart. But if you take a look at the daily chart, it's breaking this pattern. I think that if you go under the 200 SMA, I mean, forget about the support level at 206, you are probably going to go down to 186. And remember what I said last week, and what I was saying is, my range was between 230 and I went down to I think I had another level somewhere around here, and then I went down to 163 for now. And I think I said this the last time I mentioned Tesla. My range, I'm gonna keep it on between 186 and 230, But I feel like Tesla is going to continue going down until we start getting some news in October or something. I think Robotaxi Day is on October 10th. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the date. So you still have a long way to go. And I think the Robotaxi event, if it happens, is going to be kind of one of those situations of buying the news and whatever that is. I forgot that saying. But in reality, you know, or buy the rumors, sell the news, some shit like that, or whatever. Somebody, if you're in the comments, please write that down for me. I do believe that if we break 200 SMA, you're going to 186. So again, my range for now is this 230 to 186. I'm seeing weakness, and Tesla is very susceptible. So even if other names like Meta or Microsoft or some whatever start moving back up, I think that Tesla does its own thing. If you're a Tesla trader, you would probably understand exactly what I'm saying. Since we were mentioning, this sector, let's go to XLK, and here we can see also kind of like a very similar behavior. In this case, you are right on top of that 35 SMA. It was green today. We'll see what we see tomorrow. If you break that 35 SMA, you're probably going to see a continuation towards 212. And, again, this sector is going to be very, in my opinion, sensitive tomorrow to any news about NVIDIA earnings. And if they do great, I think we're really going to see a rally. And if they don't, or if they come kind of flat on numbers, we might see a continuation on this small sell-off. Again, I am not going too bearish. I try to keep a bullish sentiment on what I do, on how I trade, but in this case, feels like it's more of a downtrend for the time being. That's what I have for XLK, and now we're gonna go up to, if I can, let's take a look at this ETF. It's also behaving very similarly. It's now coming down. Today it was green, up 1%. That's a good thing. Let's keep an eye on the 5-minute. And let me see. You had a nice rally, and then it was kind of choppy. Also, there is very or less volume in general in the market. So that's why we're seeing choppy things. Like Apple today was a little of a nightmare. I was day trading Apple today, but anyways, so SMH, I do believe that, again, if NVIDIA kind of messes up on earnings, you're going to see a continuation towards the 200 SMA. That's what I actually think. You have a level right here at 230, but I think this might get a little more dramatic if NVIDIA actually doesn't deliver. That's what I have for SMH. Let's keep an eye, or let's go to, since I'm mentioning NVIDIA, let's go and take a look at NVIDIA. Nice. Again, you know what? I think if they actually beat on earnings, this is just gonna move very nicely. I was honestly thinking about buying some call options for NVIDIA, kind of like like lottery tickets, but to be honest, I really don't wanna risk money. I'm not that positive on a spectacular earnings, but if it happens, it happens. If you're more risk on type of investor and you don't mind risking a few $1,000s on options, then go for it. I mean, the setup right here, you can argue that you're flagging right here and you might continue going up. That could possibly happen, and then you hit all-time highs again. So I think if NVIDIA does well, I wouldn't be surprised to see a 10% or higher move on earnings. So I personally don't want to risk any money. I I have too many doubts, and I don't feel comfortable trading that way. But if you're one of those people that are okay, I guess putting some money on the line and take the risk, by all means. I do believe that everything is going to start moving up if NVIDIA does well on earnings. For now, again, I think the market is being a little bit cautious, and we can see it on the charts. That's what I have for NVIDIA, and let's move on to, I think I have one. You know what? I don't have another one, but let's do NQ before I finish. Okay, so we are at 19.5. I do think that if we go anywhere lower, that because it would be lower or going under the 35 SMA, I do think that if you actually start going lower this level at 19.4, we can be thinking a little bit more bearish. For now, I think it's just moving on this channel or range, and we'll see what we get. Chances are that you might actually bounce and continue going up, especially bounce on the 35 SMA. But I think if you break the 35 SMA to the downside, we might see a little bit of a sell-off within the next few days, or maybe a week or so. I personally am welcoming it, because I don't I like to get into bullish setups more than bearish setups. I prefer taking those that kind of entries. Talking about that, I do have a couple of positions, and I will share with you. I did get just to finish the video, SO, because of this setup. It is green by only 5%. I got in it later, kind of like in the middle of the day today. So they're just up by 5%. But I think this is going to continue going down. So I like the setup on this. I also got puts on Rocket Lab, and I got them yesterday. So Rocket Lab was down 10%, and I'm actually keeping them because I do believe that this move is going to continue going down. The reason why is because the obvious parabolic move that we saw, and then the decline in volume. There was actually more selling volume today that we had yesterday. And the MACD and the TSI are also telling me the story that this is going to continue going down. And I have another put position. Let me see, where is it? Oh, it's all the way up. ASTS, which I mentioned on a video as well. No, ASTS, yeah, I think that's what I said. The same thing, volume is going down. MACD and TSI are overextended, and they're pointing down, going down almost at the same time. I like that. And yeah, you had a lot of selling pressure today. If we go back to the 5-minute chart, you can actually see the behavior, and it was down 7%. I'm keeping these puts as well. I'm more confident in this position. That's why I'm not selling yet. And another one that I wanted to get in today, and I completely spaced it out, was, and I mentioned this on yesterday's video, was LUMN, and it was down 14% today. I mentioned this in yesterday's video. I said it was a good opportunity. I wasn't too sure if I was gonna get on it. I wasn't anticipating a 14% move, but there is a lot of volume and a lot of pressure. It's 45 million shares today versus yesterday 20, and the last green day you had 28 million. So you can just see it here on the volume indicator, and this is, well, too bad I didn't take it, but the other ones are doing pretty well. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, it was kind of like a slow day, and I also had to attend some of my other I own a couple of businesses, and I really had to pay attention to that today. So anyways, that's all what I have for you guys. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.